Alright guys, and welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video. Today we're working on a 2015 Dodge Charger with a complaint of ABS light and stability control light on, which is going to be these two here, and also the brake light is on. So I already went ahead and started doing some checks on this car. I scanned it. It's got c0031 and 34 code, which is front, left, and rear speed sensor incorrect component installed. So there you have it, c0031, I'm sorry, 0031 and 0034. So I went ahead and installed my scope on the sensor itself, and we're just gonna do a couple of quick checks here. I've already determined what the cause is. I just wanted to go ahead and do a video on this, so let me exit out of here and go to some live data, so we can see here. Let's see, wheel left and right. We'll go with the right. We'll put both of them, no biggie. We're just gonna show these two. And we're gonna see here that as I rotate, which I really can't do too well without the tire, but anyways, it stays at 0. There's no movement. So I went ahead and plugged in my scope to the sensor connector here. The sensor is right back here, and it's a 2-wire speed sensor, which tells me it's gonna produce its own voltage, an AC voltage. And I've got my scope set up for such. I got it at 5 volt AC, and I got it at a time base of 500 milliseconds per division. And I'm just gonna rotate this and see if I see a pattern. I know there's a lot of glare, and it's kind of hard to do this without the wheel, but as you can see, it is dead. It's kind of hard for me to rotate this, and nothing. I don't know if you guys can see with the glare, but let's see if you guys can see better here. Nothing. All right, so if we pull out the sensor, which we see here, you know, we want to see, is the sensor bad, or is it the component in the wheel bearing bad? So a quick little trick that I'd use is, depending on what type of sensor it is, like I said, this is a 2-wire sensor, you can get a magnet, which is the back of this pocket screwdriver, and just kind of do one of these numbers here and see if it reacts to the magnet, which is not. It's completely dead. I don't think you guys can see that, but it's kind of hard for me to do this with the one hand and hold the camera. So nothing. The sensor is dead. So that tells me right now that this sensor is completely dead. And if it was a 3-wire sensor, which just sends a, you know, a reference voltage, and then it pulls it down to ground or up to power or whatever depending if it's a pull up or pull down design, I would use a piece of metal or something, do the same thing but with a piece of metal, and it should give you a square wave on the pattern. Right here it will be a sine wave. It will be an analog sine wave. Depending on the speed, the amplitude would increase. So, but this is doing absolutely nothing. We should see at least a little blimp there, at least. So that tells me right there that this this thing is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a sensor in there, and then I'll show you guys the aftershock. All right, so as you can see here, we got some activity now with the new sensor. And you see that you get a reading here. I'm sorry guys, I'm outside and everything gives off a glare, so it's hard, I know. Okay, so the new sensor fixed the problem. I was able to confirm what the issue was before I sold the job by doing some quick techniques. And just to show you guys the little magnet trick works, I'm gonna grab it again with my little magnet, and you can see there the reaction. Let me see if I could do this. With one hand, it's hard. There you go. Okay. So with a simple magnet up against the sensor, just like so, we can produce a signal. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be the sensor is bad. It could be the actual component inside the wheel bearing that went bad, you know. So that's how we can tell the difference between what's wrong, so we can make an accurate repair the first time. All right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna put everything together, go for a test drive, and that should take care of the problem. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Ciao. All right guys, just one more thing before I forget. If you don't have a scope, you can still do the same trick just by watching your PIDs. So you move the magnet, and you should see a reaction. Okay, you should see a reaction to your magnet as you pass it in front of the sensor here. That's another way you could do it without having a scope or none of that fancy schmancy stuff. So I thought I'd mention that before I forget. So again, thanks.